Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. Today is July the 20th. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our H.O.D Recovery Services. You can contact me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Well, good morning to you. I'm looking forward to doing our Just for Today in a meditation. So grab your meditation book or your phone or however you're reading it, or just follow along with me. That's fine as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, July 20th from the Just for Today in a meditation is about step one. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. Step one. The first step begins with we, and there's a reason for that. There's great strength in making a verbal admission of our powerlessness. And when we go to meetings and make this admission, we gain more than personal strength. We become members, part of a collective we that allows us together to recover from our addiction. With membership in NA comes a wealth of experience, the experience of other addicts who have found a way to recover from their disease. No longer must we try to solve the puzzle of our addiction on our own. When we honestly admit our powerlessness over our addiction, we can begin the search for a better way to live. We won't be searching alone. We're in good company. Just for today, I'll start the day with an admission of my powerlessness over addiction. I will remind myself that the first step starts with we, and know that I never have to be alone with my disease again. That's a beautiful meditation, a very true, fundamental type meditation. And I do think that it's important for us to never lose sight of the fact that we're not alone. We are not alone, not in Narcotics Anonymous, not in any 12-step program or any support group. I wouldn't care what it was. If you're involved in a support group, the whole ideal of being supported is that you don't have to go it alone. You don't have to face your feelings and emotions and trials and grieving and your disease of addiction alone, right? And it's very important that not only that we understand it, but that we're able to put the thought behind it, the concept behind it into action. Right? There's this distance between knowing something and doing something, right? We need to cut down the distance between knowing that we're not alone and acting like we're not alone. And a lot of times I think that we look at that from the point of view that other people are there for me, but we can also be there for other people, right? Because when we go from step one all the way up to step 12, the step 12 is talking about carrying the message to the addict that still suffers. So it's natural for us to think about ourselves and us individually needing support. But we have to remember that the we in the fellowship is a two-way street. It's not just about you getting the support, but also you giving the support. And I think that's the angle that I want to come at it today. How are you not being supported in your recovery? And how are you not supporting others in their recovery? I want you to think about that because it's very important, because I do believe that a lot of the energy we put out is the energy that we give. You know, it's been proven that when a person enters into the room and they see, scientifically, it's been proven that when they look at other people's microfacial expressions, right? These either raising their eyebrows or rolling their eyes or flinching their nose, or, you know, our face gives off a lot of times what we are deeply feeling about a situation. So it's been scientifically proven that when an individual walks into the room, that their face will start to reflect the face of the people in the room. Right? It takes an artist. It takes a highly emotionally intelligent person, a person with high emotional intelligence is the better way to put that, right? So it takes an individual that has that in order to be able to control their microfacial expression, to be able to walk into a room that is very stoic, uninviting. The people have frowns on their face, and they have even a bigger uh, look of intolerance on their face when you walk into the room. And when you walk into the room, you can, without even thinking about it, reflect to them what they're reflecting to you. So when your emotional intelligence is developed and you understand these small, minute nuances, you are able to bring the energy into any room that you enter in. You are able to support, right? You're able to be the giving part of the we, regardless to whether or not anyone is giving anything back to you. Right? And that's really what I wish for you today. I want you to think about not all that you are doing, but what aren't you doing to contribute to the we? And what aren't you receiving that should be coming from the we of the fellowship? And then once you take note of those things today, I want you to today, not tomorrow, unless you're in another part of the world and it's almost tomorrow already, right? I want for you today to change that. When I get off of this podcast, I am going to go into an NA meeting that I attend every morning at 9 o'clock. It doesn't get over till 10:30. And unless I'm very, very busy, I attend that meeting all the way from beginning to close. It's a part of my routine. My daily routine is one, to create the podcast so that I'm giving something back to those individuals that might happen upon my channel and need some encouragement in regards to their own recovery. And then I go and I participate in my own recovery by sitting in a meeting for an hour and a half. When I am done with that, even though I have other things that I intend to do today, other appointments, I'm going to reach out to no fewer than 3 individuals, 3 people that I know in the fellowship that I've told that let's stay in touch. We should stay in touch. I'm going to actually put that into action today. That's what I'm going to do. But I want you to do the same. I want you to be thinking about how you can change those 2 things I mentioned to you, right? What aren't you doing to contribute to the NA fellowship, the we part of the fellowship? And what aren't you receiving? And a lot of times the not receiving part is directly related to what we're not doing to contribute ourselves, right? Because life is reciprocal, right? We may not know where, when we're putting our energy out, we may not know where that energy is going to come from to give back to us, but it's a life cycle. It's not something that can be avoided. It just is a spiritual energy. And so I want you to start putting out what you want to receive, right? Giving into that we, so that you can receive more from it. I think that this will really bless you today if you do that. And then make a point, even if you have to set an alarm, make a point to tell yourself, text 3 people, call 2 people, text 1 person, whatever it is that you set up for yourself. I want you to be more vigilant about doing it. And it will change. It will change your life flow. You know, yesterday I went to a meeting that had like 15 minutes of meditation. And I had the hardest time settling down during that 15 minutes. I had the hardest time. For whatever reason, I did not enjoy that group type meditation. I did not enjoy it. It was very difficult for me to participate in that part of the meeting. But you know what? This much I can say that I do know for sure, that I am going to continue to practice increasing my quiet time, my meditation time. I need to get to the point where I can do it impromptu, like do it unplanned when I need it or I'm stressed out. And I also need to get to the point where I increase that in my day-to-day living. And I want you to think about that, right? Because a lot of times we don't wind down or we don't reach out because we don't feel peaceful and we're not ready to undertake the energy that is going to be expended when we relate to other people and connect with other people. But if you start increasing your meditation time and stilling your spirit, you will find that you have more to offer, not only to yourself and those you love, but individuals that you, generally speaking, don't have a real deep connection with, but you may have to engage them because of your employment or in the rooms or something of that nature. And so I wish that for you today. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to be talking to you tomorrow. I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful July 20th.